Welcome back, everyone. We've got a lot of big updates today. We're going to cover that $1,400 stimulus check. Please let us know if you've received that check yet. We're also going to cover Social Security benefits, President Biden's plans to reform these benefits, and the fact that a handful of Democrats might actually slow down benefits reform and slow down President Biden's plans to pass that massive infrastructure package. We're also going to cover that $200 per month stimulus boost. But before we get into it, please like this video if you like this content and subscribe. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers, valued up to $1,800. It's completely free and you can sell the stocks immediately to use the money if you'd like. All you have to do is open an account using the link that's in the description of this video. So $1,400 stimulus checks, boy has it been a saga. Please let us know in the comments if you've received your deposit. At this point, the majority of you at least have a payment that says pending. If your payment still does not say pending, continue to check that Get My Payment portal. And if that's still not updated, you might want to consider calling the IRS at this point. And just a quick reminder, if you still do not receive those first two stimulus checks, you're going to want to file your taxes and claim them as the recovery rebate credit. Now, President Biden made a lot of promises to seniors on the campaign trail, and he promised to take care of seniors and take care of those who are disabled, not only through that $200 per month stimulus boost, but also by reforming benefits long term. So let's quickly talk about what President Biden promised. Now, as President Biden moves forward with his infrastructure package, we're hoping that Democrats will convince him to attach Social Security reform and that monthly boost to this package, or at the very least, do this in his next stimulus package either at the end of this year or next year. Of course, none of us want it to take that long. We're hoping it will end up in this package, but as of now, it currently is still not in this infrastructure package. And not only that, we have a handful of Democrats, moderate Democrats, like Senator Joe Manchin, who are saying they will not support this infrastructure package because they do not support the increase of taxes. That is not a good sign, especially because if we're going to get Social Security reform, we're going to need to increase taxes. But we're going to jump into that in just 1 minute. But first, let's quickly cover what President Biden promised to get done for seniors. Now, on his website, he specifically said that seniors deserve a dignified retirement, which means having access to affordable health care. So he wants to lower drug prices because this is a massive expense for our seniors. He also said he would preserve and strengthen Social Security. On his very website, to this day, it says, Social Security is the bedrock of American retirements. Roughly 90% of retirement-age Americans receive Social Security benefits, and 1 in 4 rely on Social Security for all or almost all of their income. The program has not only ensured that middle-class workers can enjoy a sound and secure retirement, which they worked so hard for, it's also lifted over 17 million older Americans out of poverty in just 2017 alone, which is the last year that we had data on this. President Biden's plan pledged to protect Social Security for the millions of Americans who depend on the program. With Social Security's trust fund already in a deficit and being expected to exhaust its funds by 2035, we urgently need to take action. And this is why we expect him to do it quickly, because it says so on his website. He said this is urgent, but yet now seniors have been put on the back burner. So what exactly did he promise? Well, first of all, he promised to increase taxes on the wealthy, to provide more funding for Social Security benefits, to preserve its long-term solvency. He also promised to provide a larger benefit for those who have been on benefits for over 20 years, as well as a minimum benefit, which is 125% of the poverty level, so nobody on benefits is forced to live in poverty, as well as increasing benefits for widows, because widows lose a monthly benefit check when their partner passes away. That check is gone, and they're left with simply one benefit check per month. So he has pledged to increase this by an average of 20% per month. Now, this is all really good news, and we hope this comes to fruition really soon. But as of yet, President Biden has yet to bring this to the forefront of his administration, and we already have senators like Joe Manchin. Remember, this is a Democrat, but very moderate Democratic senator, and he has a huge issue with raising corporate taxes. And this is already being shown in President Biden's current infrastructure bill. Joe Manchin said that as things stand today, he would not vote to approve this bill, and he explicitly said that because Democrats only have a 51% majority in the Senate, that he knows that his one vote has a lot of power, and he has proposed to slightly increase the corporate tax rate from 21% to 25%, but not the 28% that President Biden wants, creating a sort of middle ground. He said, as the bill exists today, it needs to be changed. He said he is against raising the current 21% corporate tax rate to 28%, but instead supports a middle ground of 25%, which he called quote-unquote fair. Now, guys, I know a lot of you aren't that concerned with this current infrastructure package, but this is not a good sign, because if we have senators like Joe Manchin, and Joe Manchin even said that there are a handful of other moderates who would vote against this as well. He did not call out names, so we're not sure exactly who they are, but this is a sign that if President Biden tries to raise taxes to fund Social Security benefits, to create that $200 per month stimulus boost, to create bigger benefits for those who are on Social Security, that someone like Joe Manchin could actually stand in the way because Democrats only have a 51% majority in the Senate. Now, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This does not bode well, as we all hope that President Biden pushes for Social Security reform either this year or next year at the very latest. We have Democrats like this who are moderates who might create a lot of pushback. Now, fellow Democrats are calling him a hypocrite and calling Republicans a hypocrite for not wanting to spend, because we've heard it over and over again. People like Mitch McConnell and just Republicans in general and moderate Democrats say we cannot continue to increase the deficit. We cannot continue to keep spending and create more debt. However, Democrats are calling out Republicans for being hypocrites because in the 4 years when President Trump was in office, the deficit increased by trillions of dollars. So even when Republicans were in control, even when they were in control of the White House, the Senate, and the House, at the beginning of Trump's presidency, the deficit continued to skyrocket. But now that Democrats want to increase the deficit to help the average middle class and lower income American, now it's an issue. So let's quickly take a look at this video analyzing the fact that Republicans were willing to increase the deficit dramatically when Trump was in office, but do not want to do so now that Democrats want to use that money to directly help the American people. Let's take a look and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Well, Republicans have been loudly voicing their concerns about government spending so far under President Biden, especially his infrastructure plan.
Infrastructure is a core function of government. It is something that the federal government, the state government, and local government should spend more of our resources on, but we don't have to hike taxes by $2 trillion to do it.
Well, how do you pay for it then?
Well, I think you pay for it in a number of different ways. One way you pay for it is by seeing significant improved economic growth. We saw that throughout the Trump administration because the policies were pro-business, they were pro-growth, and revenues improved. Now, unfortunately, during those 4 years, like the 4 years before that, they did not in Washington get control of spending. They feel as if the debt doesn't matter.
Well, now, granted, $2 trillion is no small chunk of change. It should be scrutinized. We will be scrutinizing this plan later in the show. But those loud Republican voices you hear now, they were really quiet about debt during the 4 years Donald Trump was president. Trump vowed to eliminate the national debt when he was campaigning in 2016. But for the record, the U.S. actually added about $7 trillion in debt during his 4 years in the White House, including the $2 trillion tax cut in 2017, the most significant tax reform in 30 years, and approved by every Republican senator, even the budget hawks. Deficits were actually growing while the economy was booming under Trump, which isn't really a good thing. And back in July of 2019, CNN senior political analyst and anchor John Avlon apparently looked into his crystal ball, and he wrote this. That is very bad news for those of us who will be left to clean up the mess after Donald Trump has left D.C., because there is no way that Democrats are ever going to fall for the inevitable Lucy and the football moment that will come when conservatives say that it's time to rein in spending. So here we are. Lucy's teeing up for Charlie. The fiscal conscience of Republican lawmakers and elected officials has grown, has magically reemerged under a Democratic president. Back in February, as the stimulus bill was cooking, there was at least one Republican in Congress who acknowledged the optics of his party's pearl clutching over the deficit.
During the time when the economy was booming and we had a Republican president and House and Senate, we kept on spending massively more than we were taking in, almost $1 trillion a year in deficit spending every year, adding to the national debt, almost $1 trillion a year. So now we say, this is outrageous. You're adding to the debt. And they say, hey, where were you when you were in charge? You did the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, it does show you that you have to be somewhat consistent.
Okay, guys, so we've even got Republicans like Mitt Romney admitting that it's hypocritical to spend money when it benefits Republicans, but not allow Democrats to do so when they want to help those who are on Social Security benefits and those who are low income during a pandemic. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I know what you're going to say. Oh, Andrew, you're slamming Republicans. You're just a Democrat. Guys, I just want what's best for the American people. I want those who are on benefits to get that $200 per month stimulus boost. I want Social Security reform so everyone can get larger monthly benefit payments. I want more stimulus checks. I want people with low income to get the help that they need. So I'm just saying that I do agree with this particular video. And I mean, come on, guys, even Mitt Romney himself, who is a Republican, said that that was hypocritical. Now, just to be fair, I want to show you guys an article from CNN that's also calling out the Democrats, because President Biden and the Democratic administration have been saying that his infrastructure package will create 19 million jobs. And CNN called them out for saying this is false and this is completely misleading. They were using statistics that said that over the next decade, 19 million jobs would be created. But even without the infrastructure package, 16 million jobs would be created, meaning that after it's all said and done, the projections are that this package, the infrastructure package, will create about 3 million jobs, okay? So I just wanted to point that out so you don't think I'm just slamming Republicans, guys. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. And again, I just want the people to get what they need. And speaking of what the people need, what about those fourth stimulus checks? Will the people actually be getting a fourth round of stimulus? And will we actually be getting this $200 per month stimulus boost? Well, this article tends to say that if we are going to get more stimulus, it's going to be targeted. We most likely will not be getting another large round of fourth stimulus checks. And personally, I agree. I do think there's still a chance we'll get that $200 per month stimulus for those who are on benefits. I do think we could get another unemployment boost. And it's very, very likely that we could get that child tax credit, which provides monthly payments to those who have children. And that stimulus is very similar to that monthly boost for seniors. So if they can do that monthly boost for families, I don't see why they can't do it for seniors. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. I kind of feel like seniors are being left behind. And if we look at President Joe Biden's website, his website says that Joe Biden will create a more resilient economy, give all Americans a fair shot, ensure all Americans are treated with dignity. Now, President Biden, if you want to treat the people with dignity, I think you should give those who are on benefits a monthly payment that allows them to live a life of dignity. A paltry $1,500 a month or $900 a month is not enough. And President Biden promised to approve this monthly stimulus boost. He promised to reform Social Security benefits. And now it's all been completely thrown on the back burner. And now that we have Democrats like Joe Manchin who are pushing back on tax increases, it looks like we might be set up for a huge fight between the Democratic Party as a whole and a handful of moderate Democrats who will refuse tax increases, which will therefore stifle and slow down Social Security benefits reform, not even to mention this $200 per month stimulus boost that we're still hoping for. Now, guys, we have to hold President Biden to his word. If he made these promises and seniors came out and voted for him to win this election, we need to make sure he follows through and comes through for the seniors who voted him into office. So please like this video, please share it with someone else who you think might find this helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. I will keep you updated daily on the most up-to-date news that we have on Biden's plans not only to reform Social Security benefits, but also daily news and how this might affect your retirement. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching my channel. We'll see you on the next video. Until then, take care and have a great day.